Welcome back, everyone. Well, you're going to join me in the kitchen right now. We're going to have some fun this week, I'm telling you. And first thing we're going to make is apple fries with a pumpkin pie dip. So this is apple fries with a pumpkin pie dip. It is an absolutely delicious recipe, especially to make with your kids as like a sweet snack with all the flavors of the season. So let me tell you first, it's centered around my favorite apple from Chelan, Washington. This is the sugar bee apple. I call it the fairy tale apple because I think it looks just perfectly suited for a fairy tale story. And you're gonna see this little sugar bee sticker on it. That's because these apples were actually pollinated by a bee. They're like cross-pollinated with a Honeycrisp apple, and they have this like taste of honey with vanilla, and I absolutely love them. So we've got our oven set to 400. Into this bowl, we're gonna put 2 tablespoons of either butter. I'm actually using grass-fed ghee, and you can come in here and take a look at this while I put it together. So this is melted ghee, just a couple of tablespoons, and now we have our apple, couple of those sugar bee apples or whatever you have on hand, tossed in the butter or ghee, okay? So you want those apples kind of sliced in a fry shape, okay? And this happens to be a gluten-free recipe in case you were wondering. So toss those in the butter, and now we are gonna make the coating. So follow me over here, come back up, that's right, okay, follow me over here. We're gonna make a coating for these apple fries, starting with a 1/2 cup of almond flour, a couple of tablespoons of some kind of sweetener. Sometimes I use monk sugar, sometimes I use coconut sugar, which is what I have right now, and then a little bit of kosher salt and some cinnamon. So I just mix that together with my fingers. And what we're gonna do is coat each one of those apple wedges, in the almond flour mixture. And then I love to put them on a baking sheet that's lined with parchment paper, so they get nice and good and coated. And what's gonna happen is they're gonna get nice and crispy as they bake. Like 5 to 10 minutes is all you want. I like it when the apple still has a nice bite, when it's not too mushy, but this is almost like mock frying is what we're doing. And it gets all that good cinnamon mixture on it. And apples are such a good source of fiber, of insoluble fiber and soluble fiber. I leave the skin on just to keep everything easy. So there you go. You kind of have the idea of what to do with that. All right, so those would go in the oven at 400. Now let's make our pumpkin pie dip. And it starts with yogurt. So this is Greek yogurt sweetened with stevia. So it's extra high in protein because that Greek yogurt has been super strained. It's got sometimes 22 grams of protein in a cup, okay? And then we are going to take a little bit of just canned pumpkin and put it in there. A dash of vanilla, a little bit of pumpkin pie spice, and then a sweetener. This time we're gonna use maple syrup because it's really gonna have those fall flavors that we all adore right now. So mix that together. I mean, this dip is really, my kids love it. It's so delicious. You could use it for lots of things, not just apple fries. All right, so that is it. Here's the finished version over here. So you've got the full thing. I mean, that was like the easiest recipe ever to do apple fries plus the pumpkin pie dip. And then they make these nice little handheld fries that you and your kids can eat and enjoy. So
I love that.
You're skipping out on the pies we did last week.
Right.
You can do something a little bit healthier.
Or, I mean, you just want it all.
Or you do it all. Right?
Because we're equal opportunists here. That's awesome. I love that.